So Marvel just released a new set of posters for the re-release of Avengers Endgame. And I think the most interesting thing about them is that the poster with the fewer Avengers might actually understand Endgame better than the one with every Avenger on it. Because just look at this thing. Now at first, I actually kind of liked it. You basically got the entire MCU turned into this giant monument. Tony is right in the middle, the Infinity Stones are one of the only real sources of colour, and then everybody else is just packed around him, almost as if like they're carved into the same metal. It feels commemorative, which actually makes a lot of sense for a re-release like this. Endgame came out about 7 years ago. Marvel isn't really selling you a new movie, they're selling you the memory of what the movie was. And turning the characters into what almost looks like a giant Avengers statue, I think is kind of a clever way of doing that. But the longer I looked at it, I started liking it slightly less. Because eventually I stopped looking at the composition and I started trying to identify everybody. And once that happens, the hierarchy just starts to fall apart. There are just faces everywhere. Some characters are enormous, others are tiny. I mean, you've got the Hulkbuster up there, even though Professor Hulk is obviously much more representative of Bruce in Avengers Endgame. The Hulkbuster technically does appear at the beginning of the film, but it's just strange to kind of give him that much visual hierarchy within the piece. And because nearly everybody has been reduced to the same metallic treatment, you almost lose one of the easiest ways of separating the main characters, and that is colour. Normally you've got Iron Man's red, Captain America's blue, Hulk's green, and Thor's red cape. Here, almost everybody belongs to the same grey mess. Now, it does make the poster feel unified, absolutely, but it also means the composition has to work much harder to tell you where to look. And for me, Tony is fighting the rest of the poster for attention, which is kind of interesting, because another one of these posters solves that problem almost immediately, which is this one. This is probably my favourite of the new set, and it's so much more simpler. You've just got Tony, and you've got the gauntlet, and you've got the blue and orange kind of battlefield atmosphere behind him, and that's basically it. But instantly, I know what this image is about, and I don't just mean who's in it. I know what it's trying to make me feel. The gauntlet gives you the spectacle of what Endgame was, and Tony gives you the emotional consequence of that. And suddenly, I don't need 25 characters to remind me what this movie was. One face and one object can just simply do that. That's where I think these posters become quite interesting from a design point of view, because the obvious assumption with an Avengers poster is more Avengers equals more Avengers. You want to sell the scale of the movie, so naturally, from a marketing point of view, you just show everybody. And to be fair, Marvel is literally marketing this re-release around reassembling the team. The film returns on September the 25th, with the re-release also being used to push audiences towards Avengers Doomsday. So the giant ensemble poster makes complete sense from a marketing point of view, and I understand that. But good poster design isn't really about showing the viewer everything that's in the film. It's about deciding what deserves to be seen first. Avengers Endgame already gives you that answer. For all the characters, portals, armies, spaceship, and the entire spectacle, the film eventually reduces everything down to one person making one decision. Tony takes the stones, he looks at Thanos, and he snaps his fingers. That's the image that people remember from the film. So I don't think it's an accident that Tony and the Gauntlet keep appearing throughout this new campaign. And look, I'm not saying that's secretly confirming some massive doomsday theory. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom makes everybody suspicious of absolutely everything that Marvel is doing with Tony now. But purely as visual storytelling, Tony is the strongest anchor this campaign has. And this is why I think the simpler poster design wins. The big ensemble one tells me, right, remember all these characters. The Tony poster tells me, remember what happened. And those are completely different emotional triggers. For a re-release, I think the second one is just so much more stronger, because Marvel doesn't really need to explain what Avengers Endgame is anymore. Most of us already know. Most of the world has seen the film. They just need one image that makes you remember what it felt like watching that for the first time. So out of these new posters, the Tony and Infinity Gauntlet one is my pick. But I'm curious to know kind of what you think and how these make you feel. Which one of these would you actually put on your wall? Or which one of them would actually make you go and see the film again? And is the ensemble poster just too much? Or do you actually like it? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching.